So dating. What are men looking for in dating? The reason I'm talking about that today is it came up, and I'm doing this whole thing on dating. And relationships and trying, looking to get married. Um, when men go out on, before I start, the hair is still braided in plaits because one of the kids in my care, she's going to school for it. She's practicing. So hopefully you understand and don't judge me too harshly on the hair, ladies. Um, with that out of the way, I had to write a list because this is what men look for, why men date, what they're looking for, how they perceive dating women. At least how, from my perspective, and some of my young men athletes, this is their some of their perspective as well. For me, when I look at dating, it's like it's an expense. It's it can be viewed as as an investment, especially if you when looking for a wife. But initially, it's an expense. For example, I'm spending my time and money because traditionally, even nowadays, modern women expect a man to spend time and his money taking them out on dinners and movies and stuff like dates and stuff like that, and they don't have to spend anything. And 9 times out of 10, um, I call it an expense because they're deliberately wasting your time because they really don't have much interest in you. A couple of my athletes have said this, that they've gone out on dates, but the women were mainly interested in the free meal, or they didn't want to be alone that night, so they used them basically for the free meal and company. So a lot of that is going on. So I'll say this to you, women, if you're watching this: do not accept a date from anybody if you're not physically attracted to them, where you can see yourself having sex with them. If you're not interested in you can't see yourself being intimate with that person, turn them down. Don't use them because it's unethical. And don't say, well, you're gonna try and see. You already know right off the bat if you're interested. We will never ask you out as men if we were not physically attracted to you or couldn't see ourselves having sex with you. The only reason we ask you out is after those things is to see if we could spend our lives with you. And based on the statistics, a lot of modern women, especially black women in particular, they're not really fit or prepared for long-term relationships or marriage. That's why the rates are so high for black women not marrying at all, and divorce rates are significantly high, and it's usually by women divorcing. Things like 60 or 70% divorce rate. The divorce rate is by women filing for divorce. It's like 60 to 70%. So the date, right, is an expense to us. Now, if you want us to wait so you can take your sweet time to figure out if you want to be with us or not, if you're physically attracted to us but you're not sure if you want to have sex with us or be intimate with us because you are trying to preserve your body or watch your body counts or stuff like that, pay some of that money. Pay for one of the dates. I pay for this first date, you pay for the second date. Or if I'm traveling far to take you on that first date, you pay for the first date, I pay for the second date. Split the expense. Right? If you could do that, a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, a man wouldn't mind waiting. And when I'm talking about a man, I'm talking about the average man. I'm not talking about the high value men, the men making over $100,000 a year, the millionaires or the playboys, right? I'm talking about a man that's looking to get married. you have to be upfront with when you accepted it. Say, look, I don't mind. You have to be willing to say, I don't mind going out on a date with you. But what I'm looking for is marriage. Eventually, maybe within the next, if things work out between us and we find ourselves compatible, and in the beginning, that's what I'm looking for. Be upfront with us. Men who are looking for marriage, or marriage-minded men, won't be offended by something like that. Especially stable men, or men who's intellectually and emotionally stable, or men who have everything established already, and they too are looking for something like that. So you're both going into the date with a mindset that's on common ground. Okay? So, entitlement. Do not feel entitled to a free meal and him spending time and money on you. He will do that first. I will do that on the first date. But if I get that sense of entitlement, and we could sense it, don't think we can't sense that stuff. You gotta be smoking hot like a 9 or a 10 for us to like set that aside and take you on a second or third date. But even a hot woman becomes unattractive to us when you're abusing our time and our money. Especially someone like me who's average. I don't have a ton of money just laying around where I could lose this and it ain't gonna mean shit. Because every dime spent means something. So, again, I sent it another video. Do not present yourself as an expense. Alright? Like traumas. Do not bring your traumas into the relationship. In the beginning especially. I mean, later on, if you want to talk about some of the things that occur in your life, some of the things that other men have done to you in the past, by all means, you could talk to us about that. I don't have a problem listening to that. But on the first date, second date, don't bring that crap. Don't assume that I would do something like that. I'm not that last guy. I have a whole different life experience, and I have a whole different approach to doing things. So get to understand me first before bringing up crazy stuff like, well, this last guy, had sex with me and then walked off. Those are some of the risks that we have to take, because we are taking a risk. I just spent all this money taking you out on a date, and you just used me for a date and some company, and nothing, and just walked off. So I lost both time and money. And it's okay, women think that's okay, but it's not. So again, do not accept a date with me or men in general if you're not attracted to them and you can't see yourself having sex with them. As far as the traumas goes, now if you're a virgin, that's fine. You can let the person know, look, you're interested in marriage, or you're not. If you're not interested in him at all, like you're not attracted to him and can't see yourself having sex with him, then you're good. Just walk away. If you see yourself attracted to him or want to have, you can see yourself having sex with him and being intimate with him, let him know, yes, I'm still a virgin, and I'm not looking to give it up until I'm married. But you're also going to be clear that the only reason you're accepting this date is because you are attracted to me or that person, and you can see yourself having sex with him or her. But do not under any circumstances give that up until you're married, if that was your original goal. And stable men that's mentally and emotionally stable can understand and appreciate it, and they'll actually value you more. Okay? But you gotta be upfront and you gotta be serious about a relationship. No bullshitting. It doesn't matter if you're a virgin, if you're a 10 or a 9 in looks. If you're bullshitting, you're ugly to us. You're a waste of time. You're a waste of money. It doesn't matter if you've never had sex or none of that. The bottom line is, we do not want to be ripped off. Oh, this video is going to be short. Thank goodness. Alright, we do not want to be ripped off. Alright? Know that we want to be with you. We wouldn't ask you out otherwise. We are taking a leap of faith that you're not a jerk, you're not a gold digger, you're not an asshole, whatever you want to call it. You're not the typical woman who would use a man for a free meal. I'm talking about modern black women. Okay? When we take you out on a date, we want to get to see how we interact. You know, not necessarily to make you laugh and all that. I mean, see how a person, if you laugh, that's great. You know, if you don't, that's fine. You know, but to see how we interact. Not all women are like hee hee ha ha, that those type of things. Not all men like crack jokes. You know, so, and really not all women, and a lot of times, not really interested in a man that's always just joking all the time. So, that those are the nuances or the complexities that really requires significant amount of time, and possibly if you need to get involved with that, then it's more of a therapy type thing. And this is more about just like the bare basics, kind of generalized stuff that you can use to ponder and see where you fit in. If you have any questions, ask it in the comment section down below. I'll be glad to answer any questions concerning this particular topic in particular, because it's very, very important to us as men. All men from all walks of life. Alright? Because we already know coming into a relationship with you that, or asking you on a date, that, you know, in some cases you would have sex and be intimate with a man without even going on a date, right? If that right person comes along. Because I've had sex with a woman before, was intimate with a woman before, without going anywhere with her on a date. I mean, I did prepare dinner. I had a boat at the time, but she wasn't interested in that. She was more interested in the sexual interaction, which was fine. That only lasted a day. I mean, there's a booty call to her. You know, I appreciated it, and she moved on. But I've also been in relationships where women take forever before they kind of string you along, under the guise that they want to see what you're about. But in reality, they weren't really attracted to me in that way. I was basically using me for the meal and the company, and this notion that they might find, you know, it's a Disney notion that they might see something in me. But the decision was already made before the first date that they really wasn't interested in me long term. And many of them have come out and said that much years later, because I really don't burn a whole lot of bridges with people, but I'll never mess with those women because now they're too old. Okay. Again, ask questions in the comment section down below. Subscribe. Y'all have a good day.